Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy, for Nerds by Nerds, hanging out with this nerd.
Nerdarchy Ted.
And today we delve back into Volo's guide to monsters. When evil calls, just say Yeth.
Hey guys, jump down to the description below where you can sign up for Nerdarchy, the newsletter. It's a great way to get gaming tips as well as learn how to game with us.
So once again, we delve back into Volo's guide to monsters. And we're going to go over one of the monsters that I greatly enjoyed from 2nd edition AD&D, Fiend and Folio. And I actually had one of my early characters have the unfortunate mishap of running into a pack of these.
The Yeth Hound. So that's on page 201 of your Volo's guide.
You guys can find a link to Volo's guide in the description below and probably have a pin post at some point as well.
Nice. So the Yeth Hound has got some very cool things attached to it. It is a Fae, and it's large. You don't see a huge amount of that as far as the monsters go. Fae are usually smaller.
Right, small, medium. It's a little bit different. And it's really interesting, too, the way Volo's guide has really changed up a lot of these older monsters. And for some reason, a lot of them have found their way to the Feywild and have become Fae.
Right.
But actually, with the Yeth Hound, it makes sense to me because these are essentially your quintessential Huntsman minions.
They are.
Except for they're pretty beefy as far as minions go. It's kind of cool in the sense that anyone who is any powerful Fae, and like at this point we're talking like probably almost demigod status, can create these, and usually they use them as a reward for someone who has pleased them. And if a pack of Yeth Hound are serving someone, if that person, something happens to them, they die, the pack will then seek out another powerful individual to be their pack master.
Indeed. These guys are cool, and they can kind of get killed by natural sunlight. Now, this is something that I'm certain rules hounds out there are going to be sticklers about it, because in the RP section, it says that natural sunlight can kill them, but then they can be banished if sunlight hits them down in their actual mechanics. So it depends upon how much of a stickler your DM is going to be, because when I'm reading the RP section, I'm like, oh, well, there's spells that create sunlight, but does that work or does that not work?
So the best thing you can do with a pack of Yeth Hounds on your heels is outlast them and outweight them, because once the sun comes up and the rays of the sunlight come upon them, it banishes them back into the deep ether. Which the only problem with that is tomorrow night they can come back, as long as there's someone there to call them.
And they'll be completely refreshed because they're immune to exhaustion, and you're not.
Well, there's that, and you could really just say they had a long rest.
Well, there is that angle as well,
depending on how you wanted to phrase things. But yeah, so they really are. They're kind of a terrifying monster in that sake, in that instance, especially because they can just harry your players, throughout the night. And then during the day, well, they're going to have to figure something out because they're coming back.
Right. So there's a number of things that I thought of while reading this that would be some cool ways to use them. I don't know what you thought of, but it says that they can be a reward for, by someone who has the ability to call them forth. So what if you actually have like a Fey Pact warlock in the party who has actually performed a service for its master, and you actually give him a Yeth Hound?
Oh, that would be a cool companion and pet.
You wouldn't be able to use it during the day, or you wouldn't be able to use it somewhere where the sunlight can hit them. But what if they're going underground? What if they're going on a dungeon delve and maybe they're doing a mission for its master? Poof, here you go. You've inserted a creature that can serve. And you're not going to get this kind of thing all the time.
Yeah, it would definitely be a cool reward and a non-traditional reward for that character. I think it's cool. There's always players that are always all about the pet, and this would just be an extension. And especially if that warlock went Pack of the Chains, that would make even more sense. And it would probably fit in with that player's play style and what they like. So the other thing too about them is, the Yeth Hounds can fly. They have a fly speed.
They do.
They're fast. They're large. So technically, you could use them as a mount as well. It'd be kind of like riding like a full-grown person riding a pony, but they stand like 5 foot at the shoulder. Well, no, that's almost as big as a horse. 5 foot at the shoulder. I mean, that's only a little bit shorter. That's only a little bit shorter than me.
A really large pony or a small horse.
Yes.
Now, using it as a mount, I think that is kind of cool. You're gonna have to make sure that it's been called to you. But typically, they do serve more of an evil bent, so you're going to have to work that part of it out. And if you are its master, then it's got no problem. If you go, it's going to go look for somebody.
Don't be riding it high in the air when the sun comes up. That's for sure. Or you better have your ring and feather fall ready.
Mm-hmm. So the other thing that I thought, considering the fact that these guys individually are a challenge 4. This is a great way to enact a challenge scene or a chase scene because they're going to be stronger than a party could take. So if you're doing a wild hunt or you're doing something where, all right, you want the players chased, you use a bunch of these against a low-level party. A lot of them are going to fail their saving throws against their baying call, so they're going to want to run anyway. So when half the party flees, the rest of the party will probably follow suit or die, and that's how you can initiate your chase sequence, and you have to get away from these guys and survive till sunlight.
Yeah, these monsters are great in, like you said, the chase or survivor game. One of the things, too, is it's one of the few monsters that's actually immune to weapons. So if you don't have a magic or silver weapon, you're kind of boned because you can't hurt it at all. It talks about how your weapon just kind of passes through it like it was made of fog or smoke. And they kind of smell like, they have that smoky smell to them. I'm kind of curious why they just make them smell like brimstone, because it's kind of like similar, but...
Because if you make them smell like brimstone...
Because you think fiendish or demonic, yeah.
Then they're not, so...
Clearly, they're Yeth Hounds, they're fatty. They're elf dogs. But... No, so they're great. They're great as minions. Like Ted said, CR4, like a low-level party, they're going to be hard-pressed to take a pack. So yeah, you probably are going to want to run, and they're fast, and they're also intelligent, and they're evil. So there's a good possibility they're going to toy with their prey as well, and they might be... Yeah, I perceive them as being cruel.
So you could completely play into that fact where, all right, they're riding the party's heels. And you make it a point to say when somebody who's observant in the party, you look back and they're not pushing themselves. They're staying right on your heels. So you think that they could run faster. What do you do?
Yeah, are they driving you to a location? Are they leading you into a trap? You could definitely use them in different ways like that. And the other thing too is when you're frightened by them, they actually do extra damage to you. They do an extra. They do an extra 4d6 psychic. It's not actually when you're frightened of them. It's just when you're frightened. Mm-hmm. So again, these would work really good in conjunction with monsters that have the ability to frighten. These would wreak havoc if you wanted to use a dragon encounter. And use you can use the bang, you can use the fearful presence, and you just wanted to bump up the encounter a little bit. You put a handful of these in, especially a high level encounter, because really high level PCs are going to mow through these guys fairly quick. They don't have a ton of hit points, but they do have enough to create these little speed bumps for the party, which would be quite effective combined with certain monsters.
And if you have something that is either like the Draconic Presence or a spellcaster who has a fear aura or use access to fear imposing spells that's leading this pack, you can have all kinds of nasty hits. And all right, you'll mow through a bunch of them, sure, but each one that does manage to get a hit is gonna hurt.
Yes, and that's exactly. The other thing too is if you do pass a saving throw versus their bang, you're immune for 24 hours.
Right.
So that part of the threat kind of goes away fairly fast, and it's not a lasting effect.
Right.
So the designers were a little kind in that regards, because it doesn't have a duration. It's just until the end of its next turn. Mm-hmm. So hopefully I guess the idea is it'll give a little bit of a bump. But yeah, these guys are great for hags, necromancers, dragons,
vampires. It says so right in there. That's what it looks for. If its master dies, it's gonna go look for something evil, and it specifically calls out vampires, necromancers, and hags.
Yeah, maybe a Death Knight Huntsman. There's definitely some cool applications for this monster in your game. Again, they're always going to be the minion monster, though. They're never going to be. They're never going. They're always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Well, kind of deal.
If you want to lead into like a huntsman style game, like there could be a lone Yeth Hound looking for its pack. And something could have happened, and it's not around, but because it's a challenge 4, and you've got like a first or second level party without access to a lot of magic weapons or magic, like that could be a major threat for a while.
Well, yeah, no, I'm talking more about role playing.
Oh, yes, true.
And story wise.
Yeah.
But thinking about it, what it did make me think about would be fun. What if you had a Yeth Hound that's actually served master after master? Like these things are long lived, or maybe they're even immortal. They have to be slain in order for them to die. So suppose they're immortal. And what if you've had a Yeth Hound that served master after master? And finally, and it's just grown more powerful with each one. And finally, it's like, I'm tired of being the servant. I'm tired of being the slave. So it goes out and it basically starts hunting masters of Yeth Hounds, pack masters, and basically starts forming its own pack.
Nice.
So you could, you'd beef it up and I almost wanted to eventually have it do the lore and make it like a DD in my world or whatever. It's like the Fenrir's Wolf version of the Yeth Hound. So you could definitely have some fun with it, and that would be one way to twist how they're normally used about. Or perhaps you have this evil pack of Yeth Hounds, and they're forced to serve a good creature. So you could do something like that. Now that might be fun, if you're playing an evil campaign. And and the good character, the good NPC is the adversary, and he's using Yeth Hounds against them.
That would be pretty amusing, and you could actually have conversations because they're intelligent. They've got a human face, for crying out loud.
Yes.
So you could have conversations I wish we could actually serve you, and while they're attacking, you could have this awesome dialogue of all the things that this goodly hero is doing, and how it wishes that it could do this stuff that the party actually likes.
Yeah, they're disgusted with themselves and the things they have to do to serve their master. All because of the favor was owed to this mortal from a great powerful fey creature. So yeah, these guys could definitely be a lot of fun. Thematically, they're cool at night. The only thing you see is their glowing eyes. Their body looks like it's made out of fog or smoke, and it's a inky blackness. So it's a human face, like you said.
It's a type of monster that you've got the ability to really play into the senses.
Yes, you'd really want to be descriptive with these guys because they're super creepy.
So what do you guys think? Have you used Yeth Hounds in your game? Have you fought against them? Got any cool stories to share? Put it down below. While you're at it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Check us out at nerdarchy.com.
So until next time, stay nerdy.